What's up, man? This is Meechie Loc, and we on Talking Loco. Cause what we do, we talk that shit. Now today, y'all ain't never seen nobody just kick it with their OG. You feel me? And I got mines in the building. This my nana, this my mother. You feel me? So this about y'all today. It's Thanksgiving. You know, this is what we do. You see the food over there. Shout out to Nana. You see she did her thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is about y'all. So where you from, Nana?
New Madrid, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yeah.
Did you hear that country in her voice?
Yeah.
She been up here my whole life and she still got country in her voice. But
I'll always be country.
right.
That keeps me solid.
Yeah. So tell me about where you from. How was life growing up in New Madrid?
Life was hard. Struggle. It was a struggle. Very hard.
Mm-hmm. Expound.
Well, we lived on a farm. My mother was raising 6 kids on a farm and was a black farmer. As a female, there was only 2 black farmers in that particular time. And she worked us, and my brothers were my fathers.
Mm-hmm.
One brother had to quit school to help take care of us. We had a bad life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was hard for her to make ends meet because everybody wanted the property she had. She had beautiful property. She had a fishing stream. She had a fruit thing. She had pecan orchard.
Mm-hmm.
She had beautiful land with cotton, and she raised cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful land.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wanted it, so they wanted to see her fail.
Right.
So her boys and her kept it going.
Okay.
That's what I remember as my childhood. And then when I was a teenager, there was bus to the white school. I made it as a cheerleader, a black cheerleader in a white school.
Okay, man.
So guess how they announced I got pregnant, right? So they announced on the PA system,
Oh wow.
the captain, Charlotte Dent is no longer a cheerleader in front of the whole school.
Oh wow.
That didn't faze me. I ain't never stopped fighting since. That taught me something.
Yeah.
People can say something to you. You don't never let nobody define who you are. I never stopped.
Right.
I finished high school.
That's where I got
She
that
didn't
from.
stop that.
That's where I got that
You'll never give up. Because there's always going to be people in your life that's going to try to do some stuff to you. Always. And always be careful. But the one that's closest to you, that's the one going to stab you in the back. I always use that parable, Delilah and Samson.
Mm-hmm.
She finally broke him, but she still didn't get him.
Right.
She still didn't keep him at the end.
Right.
She broke him. She cut the hair, right? She still didn't get it. He went back to God. But I think that you're supposed to fight for anything you want. You don't take no bullshit. Put yourself number one. Love yourself and love who around you. But don't let nobody play you for no fool.
Okay.
Because I tell you, the enemy's out there. When they see you progress, that's when the enemy comes.
Well,
Trust God in you.
What was high school like for you? Like
High school was no disrespect. I was kind of, I wasn't bad on the eye.
Mm-hmm. Okay then.
So this what happened. That's how I met Rachel's father. I was a cheerleader. I was the shortest cheerleader. Mm-hmm. So they had this great big game from people from different little county, and it's the big game. So I was the first one to go as a cheerleader. I forgot my gym shorts.
Mm.
I had on pink panties,
Mm.
and I flipped the whole gymnasium. I was embarrassed. That's when your grandfather said that's when he fell in love, when he saw the pink panties. I made them flipping it. Everybody like, whoa!
Mm-hmm.
That was the most embarrassing thing for me, though. I was truly embarrassed.
Mm.
Yeah. So I had a good high school after that.
Okay.
I didn't have nothing bad. I graduated, went to prom.
Okay.
Right.
So we gonna get deep.
Okay.
So you said that's how you met my grandfather. So how was your relationship like? How did you end up getting married and having
In
Mm-hmm.
An older boy like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from a poor family. He had college, he had everything. In awe.
Mm-hmm.
In awe. That's what it was. I was just like, whoa, it's got like me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
Okay. So how was your relationship from that point forward once y'all got married, or that build up to get married? Like, what was that relationship like? What type of dates did y'all do? Like, what did y'all do for fun? Like,
Nothing. We went to have dance and stuff. We didn't do nothing.
Okay.
It wasn't anything formal about it. It wasn't anything that you could go back and say, oh, when I first met you, it wasn't anything like that. There wasn't no rockets going off in my head. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, nothing was formal. It just was just he didn't talk then. You know what I'm saying? So, it was, you know.
Right. Okay. Kids. You ended up getting married and having kids.
Right.
What was that like? Like, how was the kids growing up? You know what I'm saying?
I love my
mother and my
children.
uncle.
I love my kids. That's all I had with them. I
What was
love
they
my
like
kids.
growing up? What was they like as kids?
They were different. You know,
They were different.
your mother was a very strong-willed little girl at 2 years old. I'll never forget it. She came downstairs, because we stayed upstairs with my mother. She came downstairs with her own pamper and took it next door to the lady next door to change her pamper at 2 years old. And at 3 years old, I bought her some leather red shoes from Hudson's, $60. Where is the other shoe? She just was always different. She would hide chicken bones behind the couch.
Mm-hmm.
For what reason, I don't know. She'd take the chicken bones and put them behind the couch. She was always a strong-willed child.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing could phase her. Okay?
Yeah.
She was always was a strong-willed child.
Okay.
But I gave her everything I could give her. Everything I gave her everything.
Okay. What about my uncle?
He was intellectual. Now let me tell you something. You are like your uncle in so many ways. Y'all got the same thumb. How you can do that thumb, the facial expressions, and the way you carry yourself, and the way he was dressed. Now people, you know how my family is. They country, so they would always bring him all these country clothes for Christmas. You know, like the plaid shirt on it. No, I'm not doing it. Somebody bought him a bad shirt and a pair of pants, and Dustin gave him a pair of expensive leather shoes. He washed that shirt and them pants and starched and ironed those shirt and them pants and wore it all the time. He was the first boy at the high school to wear shorts with a button up, creased. They had never seen it. He had it all.
Mm-hmm.
He had it all.
The waves.
First one with the waves, first one everything.
That's great.
First one, and he was always the guy that looked out for that no good guy. That nobody else didn't like. He found something in that no good guy, and he would be friends with. So his friends liked him, so they made him their friend. They never liked the guy that he made friends with. He was always looking out for somebody else. He was so smart at cash. I wanted to go to cash tech because he was smart, right? So he was so smart at cash tech. He never wanted to go. That's why you should always listen to your children when they tell you, I didn't want to go to cash tech. So eventually, he left cash tech. He had found a way to go get that book, that book in the secretary office to write the excuses. Got the real book. Got the legit book, not no made up book. And I said, when I found out about it, he said, I didn't want to go to that school. You want me to go to that school? He was always truthful. He never lied. Mm-hmm. Whenever you catch me something, yeah, I did it, man. I did it, Mom, I did it. Never lied. And that's why we was always close, because he never, when he told you something, it was the truth. If you didn't want to hear it, he never lied. Never lied. He was always, he told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a premonition that he was going to die because we were washing dishes one day. He says, seems like I'm running out of time. I said, what do you mean you're running out of time? I said, man, you get ready to graduate. He said, he said, listen to me. I'm running out of time. Ain't that something? And that's what happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what was my mother like in high school?
Your mother had a lot of jealous girlfriends, little girls. You know, she had long hair. You know, people, it's still that stigma today. Like complected girls always catch hell. But she was tough. She had long. Because we kept her dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But she had on.
Okay.
It was always jealous.
All right. Is you happy how she came about after all what she went through?
I'm happy that she stands up for herself. And I want her to be a little more softer, but it's coming. But I like the way she stands up for herself, and she never was lazy. She never was lazy. She always wanted more. She always had a lot of pride. Tone down a little bit, because pride sometimes gets you in the way. But I'm proud of the woman she is.
Okay.
I know that she cares for me.
Right.
Yeah, I know that. And I know she loves her boys.
Okay.
And she loves her daddy. That's what this is good.
All right. Speaking of that, how do you feel that affected her life? Her dad.
He didn't. If he had been a different type of man, I think if he had been more of a stand-up father and stand up and talk to her and tell her about stuff, I don't think she would have went through. I know for a fact she wouldn't have went for it. If he had stood up like a father's supposed to do as a man and tell his daughter and tell about the different things about men or whatever. But he was caught up on the fact that Cora had a job and had a house. He wasn't looking at the other stuff. And that's what I resented about him, that he didn't teach her about men.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the reason why he didn't, because he didn't know no better.
Right.
What I wanted for him, he didn't have it.
Do you think that could be a hindrance, or?
It's a hindrance. If you're a man and don't speak up and don't tell the truth, and if you got kids, you got 2 daughters, you got to always tell those daughters what time of day it is. That's your right as a man, because this is how the girls pattern themselves. They pattern themselves after their father. They pick the man like their father.
Right.
So you don't want your daughters to be no deadbeat.
Exactly.
You want your daughters to be love themselves, be independent, to make it for themselves, and pick the kind of man that's up to their level. You don't want them to go down past their level.
Right.
And that's what black men, fathers don't do. They don't tell their daughters what they need to tell them. Young girls, the first man they meet is their daddy.
Right.
So if your daddy ain't crap and don't tell you nothing, you don't know nothing.
Right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, welcome.
It's your turn. So, my beloved mother, where are you from?
Detroit, Michigan.
What side?
West side.
West side. West side where?
7 Mile Press.
7 Mile.
Northland.
Okay.
Greenfield Plaza, Americana.
Okay.
Mercury, Northwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how was life growing up for you in your version?
It was excellent till my brother passed.
And how did you feel?
Alone, neglected, abandoned.
Okay. What did you do to cope and move past it? Because obviously you moved past it.
Drink.
Right. You did? That was it? Like you had...
What you want, Lex?
Drink and hang out. I was getting my
You
older
get
friends
some?
to buy me
Okay.
liquor and getting me in clubs. So now I'm clubbed out. I was doing that at 15, getting in club.
Okay.
So
Okay. What were your goals in high school? Like, what did you see yourself as in 10, 15 years, 20 years?
I wanted to go to the military.
You want to go to the military? Mm-hmm. What part, like, what position did you want to play in the military?
Army all the way up to the top.
Like,
But
what did you...
I was told by my father I wasn't gonna do shit.
Okay.
And I was wanting to go to college. He said I wasn't gonna do shit. But then other people that he hung around, kids,
Mm-hmm.
he gave them and said they can do shit. But your own child, you said you can do shit.
So it's more like a lot of neglect going on.
Right.
But no, what I was basically asking you was, what job title did you want in the Army? Like, it ain't just Army. You going there to be a soldier. Was you going to do medical? Was you going for vocational? Like,
I want to probably be more helping people.
Help.
You know, helping people.
okay, like a nurse,
Yeah.
RN, LPN, stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Me.
Hmm.
What was it like? How did you meet my dad? Like, how did that happen? What was that day like?
It was everybody was just out. We met and we just started hanging.
What was y'all at?
We was
What
off
did y'all do?
Off the mall. Where was we at? I think we was at the mall or something.
Mm-hmm.
We was at off the mall just kicking it. That's it. And it wasn't like, we just cool because he was going through shit. It was mama.
What was he like to you? Like in your eyes?
In the
what was
beginning? In the beginning?
Yeah, what was my
in the
dad
beginning,
like?
we was
Matter of fact, wait. I got a better way to ask it. In your eyes, how did you look at him? What was that first impression like? What made him pull you?
He had this shit going on. He was dressed head to toe. He had the whip. He had 2 cars, the whip. You know, he had the persona that he had his shit together. But naturally, really, he was living with his mama. But when you seen him out, you like, oh shit, he got the Jetta, he got a Honda Accord, and then he just dressed, carried himself, took me to everywhere I wanted to go, treated me like a queen. I didn't act one for shit. But then he I had a friend that his best friend Mark, laced his weed, and now he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Jealousy is real.
That's still my dog though. You know, I still love you, Pops.
Yeah.
But
Jealousy.
So when you found out you was pregnant with me, how did you feel?
I was scared, but then it was like I came home.
Like, what was that experience like? Like before, when you took the test, when you talked to him and told him, what was that like? Like, that's what I want to know.
Okay, when I went to Northland Planned Parenthood on Greenfield and took the test, and the lady said, "You are pregnant." I said, "You a lie? You better take that motherfucking kid, bitch. You got me fucked up." Shit, I'm hanging like a motherfucker. You got me fucked up. So she took it 3 times for me, and so I got 3 positives. So I was 20 going on 21. So I'm like, I'm grown as hell. I'm like, okay, now I gotta go home and talk to Charlotte. So then I came home and I told my mama. She said, "What you want to do?"
Wait, time out. Wait, we got you. We gonna pause right there at that.
Okay.
We gonna freeze at that moment. How did you feel when she came home and told you that?
I was scared, but then I asked her, I said, what do you want to do?
What was going on in your head? Like,
I was
what
like,
was you thinking?
I felt I had did something wrong. I didn't feel I was a good enough mother when I was pregnant. Because I didn't want her to be like I was pregnant before getting married, you know.
Right.
So then I asked, I regrouped. I said, what you want to do? You want to keep her? You want to have an abortion? What do you want to do?
Right. Okay. Continue.
And then when she asked what I want to do, I said, I want to keep it. She said, all right, get up, put your big girl panties on, do what you need to do, get your shit together. I got your back. It's your child. Daddy's maybe, mom, what was you telling me?
Daddy's maybe.
Mama's baby.
I said, you know, the light bill and everything gonna be a hacker, so it's gonna be a baby. So we got to work it out over here. It's both of them. We got to take care of it.
So then I went and told him, and he was confused because by that time I'm thinking I'm the only one, but there's 3 of us pregnant at the same motherfucking time. So Brandon came in August. And then you came in December. So his mama talking about, not Rachel, she ain't pregnant. I said, it ain't about Rachel. I fucked up, but your son is a hoe, flat out. So once I told him that I was pregnant, and he was like, I don't know what to do. Okay, motherfucker, bet, bye. And he
didn't show up to the house.
He didn't show up to the house.
His mother said she was scared.
He was scared.
I said, you scared to come and get her and have sex with her?
Right.
He came and knocked on the door and took her in the scooter. I ain't scared to come over.
He went to stay with Brandon mama, and they were straight.
Shout out my brother Brandon, man. Shout out my baby.
And then your grandma, I was doing for them, making sure they were straight, because she said, I know you gonna handle it, do what you gotta do. I ain't get no assistance, but she helped Brandon mama. But your auntie always was around wherever I was. She came and got you and kicked out.
Pause. Can I ask you a question? Do you know why that happened like that?
What?
Because from my opinion, it was because you already portrayed yourself to be a certain stature. You feel
That's
me?
how they portrayed me. That's how I carried
Exactly.
myself.
So, boom.
I wasn't walking around needy and acting like I was slow and didn't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
And my mother now got together and threw me a baby shower. And then my mama said, what the hell you need a baby shower for? Because my walk-in closet was from the floor to the ceiling for your ass.
Right.
I ain't need shit.
But
I
we
didn't
had
wait
one.
I didn't wait for nobody.
They came at the last minute.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
All right. Now let's fast forward. You went through.
He went to jail.
Let's fast forward.
That helped that go real
So
quick.
during you going through the pregnancy or whatever, you go through. You had 9 months before I
I had
come.
8 months.
What,
8 months.
Well, 8 months before I come or whatever. What was that moment like when that water broke?
They had my mama and Calvin went to the hospital, took me to the hospital.
Who's Calvin?
My uncle Calvin and my mama took me to the hospital.
I was there with
He did not sign the birth certificate. He was so busy with Brandon's mama. She had him like nigga, no. So he didn't sign the birth certificate. And my mama and my Uncle Calvin took me to the hospital. They wheeled me in there. I threw up on the side of the thing. Calvin said, girl, you got to clean that up. Nigga, if you don't roll me in here, I got this baby. So then I had you.
It kept you in the hospital 3 days because you sick.
And then I came home and ended up going back to the hospital. And then my mama had to have the baby
3 days.
for 3 days.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, boom, I'm born.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Shout out my birthday. It's coming.
Yeah, I called Charles and said he was happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be 30.
Mm-hmm.
So from that moment I was born to now, how do you feel? But I want you to break it down from each.
Okay.
From that moment to now, like
Okay, when you
a
was
reflection.
born, or when you was born, you were like,
You can add on too now if you want.
you was my sidekick. You can ask my mama. I very seldom let nobody babysit. You was with me everywhere I went. Nail shop, hair salon, went to school with me. Wherever I went, the show, wherever I went, you was part. So that's why when you got older to go to the show and go here and there, you knew how to act because I started you like that. Let's go. You ain't stopping me to stay in the house. You want to go to the show? Let's go. We going to Disney on Ice? Let's go. You was exposed to everything. Went everywhere. You know, we went everywhere. And my mama would tell you, she was like, can I get my grandson? I'm like, yeah, when we get back from going so. I always stay.